Thank you. Link, you did mention the swap for the parking garage. This was a piece of property owned by the city of Lewiston, free and clear, generating $17,000 a year. That was, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
It was January of 2015.
So in that time, we've lost approximately between $30,000 and $45,000 going forward. By the time this project is built, if it is built, we will be in a negative lost revenue from trading that parking garage, upwards of $50,000. If we were generating $17,000 a year.
And we've continued, part of the way the swap was set up is the city would continue to receive revenue from that for a period of 5 years.
The property by Mr. Pittman, he approached the city, interested in purchasing that property, interested in swapping the property, as we've discussed in the past year. He purchased it for $80,000 and immediately came back to the city and offered to swap it for the $17,000 generating parking lot that the city owned. At that time, there was a lot of contention between the city council and this, and the planning board discussed it. And at that time, the questions were asked. There was a concern that low-income housing was going to be put on this, and it would be TIF'd. The answers from staff were that was inappropriate for that spot. Market rate was the way to go, and there are other places in town better suited for low-income housing. The TIFs are always controversial, and we had a TIF recently for the Exit 80, 40% TIF zone, and this was a company where the owner owned the land and was investing his own money. He wasn't looking for government and federal and state tax credits and grants and assistance. The TIF was extremely worked over, and this council, or the previous council, I should say, worked through that quite strenuously, and I think we got a really good deal with that. That owner is investing his own money into his own piece of land. The city's involvement was limited to civil infrastructure.
Correct.
There were conditions on that TIF, many of them kind of parachutes that we put into it. That was 40%, and the 40% TIF was controversial within the council, but that's what we arrived at. At this point, we have a 50% TIF, 20 years, federal money, state money, assistance, credits. Without all that money, this is not feasible. It can't happen. It's not practical, and the taxpayers are bearing the burden on this. Staff has said in the past that low-income housing was not appropriate in this spot on Lisbon Street, and suddenly the tune has changed. And now it's a different song we're hearing. And that's fine. I kind of have come to expect that. Some of this is market rate. That was a move in the right direction, but we're tipping a for-profit for market rate apartments. 1/3, approximately 35% of the units will be market rate. But we're tipping the whole thing. So at best, a TIF for this, I wouldn't think should exceed 32, 33%. That's basing it off 50% TIF. 2/3 of the project is low-income housing. The units went from 1 bedroom, which was pitched to the council as these are single young professionals or other working people, not families, not big families, not whatever they may be. That was the pitch that was pitched to this council. With the state and the federal and all these regulations now, the tune has changed, and now we have 1, 2, 3 bedroom units. The rents on the market rate, do you have that number, Link?
I've got rent
1,200,
ranges.
something like
It's
that.
1 bedrooms will be $775 per month on the top end. 2 bedrooms are at $950, and the 3 bedrooms are at $1,065.
Okay, and the low income?
$492 is the low side, and there's Nathan and Amy may be able to speak better, but the range I had was $492 to $775 for 1 bedrooms, $588 to $950 for 2 bedrooms. So you've got one in the middle there for there's different levels of income qualification, and then the 3 bedrooms, the low end is $668 up to $1,065.
Is there anything that would prevent a lower income person from renting in a market rate?
No.
No. Okay, so it's
however
it's going to work out. The quality of these units, the build out, is going to be the same throughout the entire building, whether it's the market rate or the low income or the subsidized, or it's all subsidized. in a sense, getting this project going. There isn't going to be any amenities beyond what you have in the low-income units. That says something. These are going to be consistent units throughout.
Yes, that's really Szanton's model. And
What I
it's-
see as a problem is we're paying a lot, the city is paying a lot, the taxpayers are paying a lot for very little quality, and I say that conditionally, that I'm sure you build fair housing. But the people that we want to attract downtown, there's an example I'll give the young couple who moved here from New York who are renovating one of the units on Lisbon Street. This is a high-end goal they have. In that case, I think what they're doing is the right thing, and they have a vision, and that's one of the ingredients we're going to need to bring into the city to revitalize downtown. What we're doing right now is more of the same. We're bringing the suburbs, or the downtown suburbs, right into Lisbon Street with brand new examples of what we have out in the tree streets. We have some developments on Maple Street around the Public Theater that were done 20 years ago. From what I hear, they're not in very good shape right now. And these were state-of-the-art, brand new, nice subsidized housing units. They're not so nice anymore. What I see 20 years from now is what concerns me. This TIF is going to run for 20 years. And I said before, some of us may not be here, some of us will. Some of us will be very old. But the building is going to be very old in 20 years, and I can't see it holding up like some of our older buildings have done for 120 years. They just don't make them like that anymore. What are we going to do in that period of time? And what's going to happen downtown? That's what concerns me, because if Lewiston takes off, we're stuck with this for 20 years. It's income restricted. There are strings attached all over it. That's the concern I have. I expressed it before. I express it again. And, it has been my opposition to this from the beginning, as you know. I would like to see something more appropriate, as you echoed at one point in the last couple of years, for that spot, and I don't see it as this being the case, even though what we're hearing now is different. So that's all I have to say, and thank you.
Any further comments? Call the roll.
So again, this is just voting on item number 11. Councilor from Ward 5.
Yes.
Ward 6.
Yes.
Ward 7.
No.
Ward 1.
Yes.
Ward 2.
Yes.
Ward 3.
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-1.
Agenda item number 12.
Item number 12, order approving an agreement for development assistance and tax increment financing with the Hartley Block LP. Requested action to approve the order approving an agreement for development assistance and tax increment financing with the Hartley Block LP.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Council Lyson, seconded by Council Cludier. Discussion? Okay, the public. Back to the council. Call the roll.
Councilor from Ward 5.
Yes.
Ward 6.
Yes.
Ward 7.
No.
Ward 1.
Yes.
Ward 2.
Yes.
Ward 3.
Yes.
Ward 4. Yes. Motion passed by a vote of 6-1.
Agenda item number 13.
Item number 13, public hearing and order approving the establishment of the Hartley Block Tax Increment Financing District and Program. There are 2 items for requested action. The first item is to open and hold a public hearing on the proposed Hartley Block Tax Increment Financing District and Program.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, right. Council Lyson
Yes, and Councilor Cloutier.
okay, and Council Cluj. Next week I'll have my hearing aids. You'll be all set. Okay. Any further discussion? The public? Back to the council. Call the roll.
Councilor from Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
No.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
Yes.
Ward 3?
Yes.
Ward 4?
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-1.
Okay, agenda item number 14.
Item number 14, order approving a long-term parking lease with the Hartley Block LP. Requested action to approve the order approving a long-term parking lease with the Hartley Block LP.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Council Cludier, seconded by Council Lyson. Discussion for the public. Back to the council.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
No.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of
Agenda
6.
item number 15.
Item number